enough, she made the announcement, and we walked up there, walked back. She made the announcement, we walked back. I don't even know that each time I'm walking past Bianca and her sisters. It wasn't until DJ Sky said that, hey, Agent, we have your phone up here. And we like, okay, see, they work. Come on, let's go get it. I walked past and they moved on another side of the stairs. And I was going up the stairs and I was like, they were looking up at me and I looked at them. I said, ain't nobody sweating y'all. Nothing had occurred. And it was like 6 of them. It's just me, Agent Doll. And we go get the phone. I walk past again. We go get our food off our shish kebab stick. Then after that, we go on the stage and, we turning up, we dancing. And I see just a lot of like commotion over in the corner. And then I finally see her and I'm like, and I just start smiling. I'm just dancing, but I'm looking at her and I'm smiling because I'm still being aware of my surroundings. But we also were told we can't fight here. Like we're not ruining Bossman's, party. And she had spit a piece of candy and it hit Chef D. And all hell broke loose because he was not having it. And he went off. He went, oh, she spit it. Like he went off. And that's when they came and escorted her and she and her sisters out. They were out there for a while, and then production came back and was like, she want her issue with you, like, and she's not letting up. Again, this is what I say when things calm down, don't be no issue. I walked past 6 times, there was no issue. But now your sisters are here and they on that. And so I said, okay, well then I'll fight all y'all one by one because they said it came from me. They pushing through, everybody trying to push through. This is right before they were put out. Production comes back probably about, I'm gonna say about 15, 20 minutes later. And Sapphire, this girl really wants her issue with you. And if you okay with it, we gonna open up the floor right here. I said, let's do it. All right, well, we're gonna bring her in. I said, okay. We still kept dancing on the stage. Scotty was with me. She's like, I got your back. I said, sister, I got your back. If her sisters or any of them come in, like, once they knew that it was 6 of them, all my baddie sisters were like, well, each one teach one,
Yeah.
So then they come back and they're like, Sapphire, she doesn't want to come in because her sisters have to leave. I said, oh no. if the sisters aren't fighting, then nobody's gonna jump her. We weren't even bothering you. We having a good time. We ain't even supposed to fight. I look cute.
Right.
And they ended up bringing her back in, but she didn't want to come back in. They had her in like another little building sitting there until the black truck came to get her. And they took her back to her room. And she had disappeared after that for like, I don't know, a whole nother after that, I did not see her again until we got on that beach. She had disappeared. Like production was looking for her, disappeared.
Episode 16, Gretchen announces that she is leaving the show. And so this is my question to you, and I know you're not production, and I know you're not the runner of the show, but why wasn't this woman sent home a long time ago? If, in my mind, and a lot of other people's minds, in the internet world, she's problematic. She's causing a lot of issues, racial issues. Why don't we care? Only because she's constantly in our eyes. We constantly see her. This is a Black-owned network. We constantly see her, but we don't see J.O. And so now we're like, y'all don't allow us to get to know this woman that is being threatened by someone that's on the show. But then you have this non-Black person going on and on and on and on and on about, can you fill that in for us or give us some kind of your thoughts, I guess?
I was about to say, I wouldn't even know what to say because one, she wasn't going home because of any of those things. She had an injury that couldn't be cared for we were in DR at that point. So the proper care wasn't there for her. Okay. So she needed to go back to the States to receive the proper care for her elbow. I don't know if it popped out of socket or what had happened, but it began to swell. But even still, I still think that J.O. deserved her opportunity. Because, she was one of them. She was a hitter.
Okay. Yeah, they made it. The only reason why I asked that question is because it made it seem like, when I recall watching it back, that she made the decision that she was just going to up and leave the show and go home. And so a lot of people online was like, well, how is she up here making decisions like this, and we don't get to see J.O. and we want to see J.O. and that.
Yeah,
so,
it wasn't made it seem like she did make that decision because her elbow was getting worse. So she just like, they did the doctor there, wasn't getting the right type of help. So she's like, I got to get home because it's not getting any better.
Makes sense.
So that she technically did, kind of make that decision for herself.
Do you feel like Nunu inserted herself in the beef between Mariahlynn and Anna Mac with the whole mom situation?
I felt like Nunu gave her opinion on how she felt. I don't call it inserting yourself. This is our environment. Like unless it's logical for me to, like really give like a deep opinion on something. I'm always say we all know what we signed up for. I could just decide that like I haven't really watched Midwest, but I know one controversial moment was Emma telling Scotty, I want to fight you because you're born. You just never know what's going to happen. So if Nunu felt like, I want to fight you over the mom situation, you hear her mom, that's how she felt. Does it make it right? No. Only because Nunu didn't really know like the background. But Nunu didn't give a fuck. She just felt like you put your hands on somebody's mom, I want to fight you because of it. And Anna felt like, I was hit first, So later on, when they got that understanding, this is some time, they both seen each other's point of view. But I still understand Anna. It's somebody's mom. But if you're hit, if that's exactly how the story went, you're gonna hit back. Like, you kind of Anna's small.
Yeah.
Mariah's mom is shorter, but she's still a lot bigger than Anna, and Nunu just hears that you hit somebody's mom. So she voiced her opinion on how she felt.
We're going to move to the house where there's a massive blow up between the ladies. You don't fight. You're off on the side. But it's Diamond fighting for Anna. Okay. And Scotty goes in the confessional and makes a comment like, why is Diamond fighting for Anna and we have all these other ladies here that already knows Anna? What can you say about this particular blow up that we didn't see?
Yeah, I was trying. There's a reason for that, but I honestly can't remember. I feel like
there's a reason for Diamond fighting.
Why Diamond took the fade for her, but I honestly can't remember. Yeah, something happened, and so she just pretty much like, oh, fuck it, I got you. Like, I got your back. But I want to say Anna did something in favor of Diamond. Okay. I can't quite remember what it was. So Diamond's just like, fuck it, like, I got your back. You know what I mean? Like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so it was one of those, but I can't quite remember exactly what it was.
Do you feel in this particular moment, if you can remember, all of the sneaking and then the jumping at the end? Again, some people say there's no rules in fighting. But how did you feel about that? Every lady jumping in, boom, 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 let's fight. In that moment, you're seeing all of this. Is it entertaining for you, or are you just like, come on, y'all? Like,
I was caught off guard. I was caught off guard on a lot of it. But I know like the sneaking type situations, one group snuck the other friend group first. So the next friend group felt like, shit, y'all did it to us. I'm going to do it back to you. But it was just more so like when you in that moment, you watching one fight and then you just hear somebody else getting their head knocked off. So it's like, damn, and then the group rushes over, but they had real beef.
Were there any conversations that happened after all of that we did not see? Maybe you had a conversation with Kiva or Nunu or Anna.
Yeah, I did have a conversation with Kiva. Did that air? And I didn't actually watch it because we lived it. So when you rewatch it, you're like, that's not how that happened. So
yeah, the only thing that we saw was when
I was telling her,
go to Kiva and say, well, they want to run the fade.
Because I know after, I think her first fight was she and Diamond, Kiva and Diamond. Kiva goes upstairs, but Kiva wanted to fight. She didn't feel like she was done, and they didn't get a lot of screen time. Right. So if you feel like this is your moment, and she's a heavy hitter as well. So if you feel like this is your moment to to showcase your abilities and why you're a baddie. And not even that, you're actually upset. You don't want to miss out on that opportunity because you don't know when y'all coming back.
Right.
So when the group agreed, like, oh yeah, we'll bring them back down. Like, I go tell her, like, okay, come on. Like, she wants to fight you. You asked to fight her again. Like, now you have the opportunity, like, you know, do your big one. But she just, and we had this conversation. In that moment, she couldn't understand why she was upset about a sneak happening. But I was trying to explain to her, like, y'all did it first, so you can't be upset. This is the retaliation, but now you're getting the opportunity for your one-on-one. So when she and I spoke after the fight, I had, you know, gave her like a hat to wear because they had ripped her wig, threw it in the pool, all kinds of stuff. So just helped pull her together because we still had to go to the club. Helped them get dressed, make sure everybody looked good. And she was like, you know what, Sapphire, in the moment I was mad, I couldn't understand what you were saying, but it did make sense because I would have did the same thing. And you know, everything was cool. We went to the club. Everybody turned up.
How are y'all able to do that? Go to the club and you just fought mad broads. Now all of a sudden you got to go to the club and do the book.
You still got work to do. you still got work to do. So I was like, you got to show that you know how to work in this environment.
Yes.
You'll see them again. If there's beef, and handle it. So you don't want to go, especially out the country, you don't want to go to these people places and ruin their establishment with shit like that because then it makes us look bad. And there's already a stigma on baddies. So then if we go there and we showcase like this wild animal behavior at their club and then out the country, they wouldn't want anything to do with us anymore. So you just have to know when and where. There's a time and a place.
We get to the beach and it seems like Bianca will go away and come back and go away and come back and go away and come back again. From a visual standpoint, like, you know, me watching the show, I'm thinking like she needs a moment or she needs an added something for her to feel valid into coming back on the show. Also in my mind, I'm like, I don't know if that's because Sapphire wants to fight her thing or what is that like? Because her coming back and forth is like, why is she doing that? Why is she not there? Is Sapphire just saying, no, I don't want her, I'm a fighter every time I see her? Like,
yeah, and that was another thing I didn't like. But prior to her apologizing at the reunion, she used to just keep going to the internet and be like, she just kept wanting to fight me. She just kept, you snuck me. Y'all don't never see me in none of them scenes bothering this girl. But when you're the only one who do the talking and I don't feel the need to go on the internet, defend myself, people just run with whatever story. But then we're at the reunion and you're the one apologizing, not me. So, she kept saying like, she the one that just kept wanting to fight me. Baby, I'm at the beach having a good time. I'm dressed in a dress down to my ankles, having a hat. Like we're racing, we're doing limbo. We're about to get on a yacht. We have no idea that you're coming. Until Natalie says, we have a guest. You're fully dressed in Ethica. 2-piece.
Ready to go.
So who wanted to fight who? It ain't me. Yeah. I wasn't even dressed for a fight. Like my little cute outfit got all ripped up and stuff. It was from Shein, but still. And it was like you came there bothering me. Like again, they said you were in the car saying I'm gonna do this, this, and that. And then it's like when it's time to do it, you make it seem like I'm the one picking and choosing. So at this point I just got irritated. I'm just like, I'm just gonna beat your ass again. You let it go.
You did that.
Yeah.
I mean, and the edit, I don't even know. Sometimes the edit goes in people's favor, but I feel like this was a good edit to really see what was going on with the fight and what happened. And yeah, you did that, but you didn't want to stop, friend. You was like, where's she at? Let me go find her.
Because it's like you keep, because I'm just tired of the you get to, it ain't even that you get to because you don't get the permission to do, but you're giving yourself the permission to leave when you want and come back on scene whenever you feel like it, and then you with me. I'm not bothering you. I'll be thinking you're gone. She'll be gone for like a week at a time. We don't know where she is. She would leave the country itself and then come back to the islands and then try to pick up where you left off. Like I was not bothering that girl. So at this point I'm frustrated because it's like you're back again. And we're in a whole nother island, and here you are again with me. I didn't say nothing to you. We weren't thinking about you. We thought you went home.
So I'm gonna push ahead, and we're gonna get to this reunion. Okay. And I told Jayla this too on her interview. One of my favorite moments of all of Baddies, just period, was the moment that Callie thought that she was about to jump on Jayla when Gretchen was going to Jayla. And we see you, quick as I don't know what. You come through and you scoop her up and you like, oh, that's not happening today while I'm here. I loved that because it showed that not only that you and Jayla are about that, but that you have, in my mind, a moral compass. And I like seeing those genuine, authentic moments on ratchet television like this because I'm like, that's a baddie. Go ahead, do it. Boop, boop, boop. So that happens, and in your mind, like what's going on in your mind?
It's exactly how I feel. Like, we not doing this. Like, they've been fighting fair all this time. Let that continue, because you don't have any real issues with Jayla. And I also have to give my respect to Callie as well, because she did go on the internet and she made a statement about that taking place, and she thanked me for not using that moment to turn around and try to fight her. Because you didn't, although you attempted to put your hands on Jayla, you didn't. And when I pulled you back, you made no attempt to turn around and try to fight me. Now, had she had turned around and tried to fight me, then she and I would have fought. But there was a mutual respect because she and I didn't have any issues. And she and Jayla didn't really have any real issues.
Yeah. And in that moment, Saucy was really trying to paint it like everyone was scared of Callie. Nobody fought Callie. Nobody was trying to fight Callie. Y'all need to run that fade. And I see him telling you, you need to run that fade with Callie. You need to run that fade. And I'm like, what are we not seeing? Because I'm confused. Like,
yeah, and no disrespect to Callie, because I know if she wanted to fight, she would have, you know?
Yeah.
But if there was any type of fear, then I would have just allowed that to happen. I wouldn't have,
Facts.
moved her. But also, I stepped in. So after that, I have to take whatever comes with my actions. And it was just a respect. There was nothing physical happened after that. It was just, I told Callie, we not doing that. Like, we not doing that. And she respected it. She looked at me, I looked at her. It was a understanding that y'all don't even have that type of beef. And I don't even want you to look like that when this shit airs, because you had no reason to step in. But also when Jayla had said to Callie, come on, we can fight right now. We can fight right now. They just laughed her off. So it's not that no one wanted to fight her. She didn't want to fight either.
Yeah.
So, and again, they didn't really have, she and Callie didn't have like a real beef.
Yeah, a real problem.
But Callie was just sticking with, with her friend. I was sticking with mine.
From the beginning of the reunion, or at the beginning of the reunion, we get into the storyline between Mariahlynn, Bianca, you. They put the text messages on the screen. And at that moment, Mariahlynn gets up, because you talk about the text messages that was sent to Teshki, and Mariah's like, oh, those are fake, those are fake, those are fake. And then Bianca comes over and pounces on Mariah. Did no one see Bianca? Like, where you were when you remember, you didn't see Bianca coming at all?
When I seen her, I said, watch your back.
So okay, because we see...
You hear me? People were mad that I did that. Well, how dare she say watch your back? I'm going to say that.
We see Meatball saying watch your back.
I say, I scream out, watch your back, that's me.
Okay. Because
they were upset, like, why would Sapphire be saying, watch your back? I'm going to say that regardless. I don't, it just what comes in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't care if Bianca was about to be attacked. I'd have been like, watch your back, turn around. Like, that's your opportunity. Like, I'm going to say it, whether you're not, watch your back. And so her actually coming, you don't see her coming.
Yeah.
But when she's there, I back up. I'm like, oh, watch your back. But I know Mariah did like some, because it went viral. She did some type of like dip. She got back up, and Bianca got the best of her. But again, like I said, you always have to give Mariah her respect, because she gonna fight.
A lot of the women didn't want Tinka and Meatball to fight the way that they did at the reunion.
Absolutely not.
Where does that come from?
What does the not wanting her to fight?
Not wanting them to do it how they did it at the reunion is because y'all genuinely felt that their friendship was real enough to get by that, or?
Yeah, it's like, and I've had conversations with both of them. As the stuff was done, I'm like, there's a scene. at the dinner table where I was prior to the reunion, way before that, on Baddies Caribbean, we had just did like the fireworks and things like that. And I have a conversation with Tinka, and I'm talking to Meatball about them falling off. They showed it in the trailer, but when the show aired, that scene was taken out where I told them that I hate the situation that they're in. I was like, I've been in your shoes and I've been in your shoes, and if I could go back, I would. Like like you guys have the opportunity to mend this and beef with other people. Like it doesn't need to be with each other. And even with me going through what I went through, and people are like, well, just, some people will be like, well, y'all should just fight and it'll be controversial. I don't fight you if I love you. Even if we're not speaking to one another. And that's a lot of the reason why, again, I don't talk about that situation, because if we were once friends, I'm still gonna protect you and your character regardless. The love is still there. So I hated to see them actually get physical, because y'all say y'all love each other. So how can you get there? So I hated that.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. It definitely felt like the moment with them on the beach going back and forth with each other. There was a lot of hurt there. Explosive.
And see, even that, like, we weren't there for that scene, right, but we heard about it, and I seen the clips, and it's like, even then you guys it's explosive. You're just kind of, letting off some steam, but you're not getting physical. So when it gets to the point when you're actually getting physical, I just felt like that could have been avoided, unless it's just really been some built up tension that had to be let off. But at that point, I just don't see how you can come back from that. And I'm not saying that either of them want to, but I'm just saying, with being as close as they were, to actually get physical, that's a different type of I hate to use this word, but hate.
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think, this is me being messy, who do you think won the fight between Nunu and Anna?
Nunu and Anna? Where? At the reunion? Where was I?
That's a good
question. No, that's what I'm saying.
Because the clips don't really show you.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you kept in the back. Even when Jayla and Gretchen were fighting, you were like off to the sidelines.
Yeah, they'd be like, you got to sit down, because they make you do that to make sure that there's no jumping. Like, everybody get into y'all seats. So that's why, you're sitting down, let everybody shoot their fair ones until it's a situation of jumping. But I honestly don't remember that fight.
I love Anna. I think Anna is dope.
Yeah, I
love her because I love her mouth.
Yep. Yeah.
I love, and not like that, because I like men. But I love her mouth, meaning that she backs it up.
She gonna actually fight.
Yeah.
Nunu got them comebacks too, though.
And I love Nunu too. I love Nunu
when they go at it, it's like,
you gonna get
Nunu from the crib. She from Miami, so it's like she's quick with it. But then Anna is gonna just pull out she's from New York,
nasty.
So she gonna pull out the dirtiest, nastiest thing she could think of, and she just gonna say it, and it's just like, oh, why would you say that? And then Nunu come back with some like mean bad bitch comeback, and you like, ooh, that was a good one. So them two going at it is just like, you just never know what you gonna hear.
If you could go back in time and redirect or change how your interaction with Bianca started, would you, and what would you do differently?
You mean like from the moment where I was not? Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say I felt like she just could have called out her fair ones, and I would have ran the fade with her regardless, because I understand your sentiment. You want to fight for your friend, like you feel offended by something. Okay, by all means, I'm not gonna duck it, but I feel like sneaking me and then playing the victim, I don't agree with that at all. And again, there were a lot of times where she would want to speak to me, and I'm not hard to talk to, and we could have mended that, but you would only do that off camera. So we never got the opportunity to get to know one another. We never got that.
Who do you think had the most positive impact on your experiences on both seasons?
Of course, Baddies Caribbean is going to be, and this is excluding Natalie, is going to be Jayla, of course, because, so I spent most of my time with. And then Baddies East is going to be, surprisingly enough, is going to be Teshki, because she and I were both going through very big controversial moments on Baddies East. Like the two of our moments were one of the most talked about. So we both kind of understood what we were dealing with, and we spent a lot of time on the phone, you know, just like getting each other through. And that's still my girl. We still talk to this day. We you know, we talk a lot. And Rolly.
Okay.
Believe it or not. And with Rolly, it was also because with me not explaining other intricate details that could make it all make sense, she was a part of that moment. So she was, you know, kind of there to make sure I was okay.
Does Rolly get, and I'm asking because I genuinely want to know, because I feel like in one take, Rolly is like simply amazing. And then in another take, I see the whole debacle with Slim and blah, blah, blah. So my question to you is, do you feel like Rolly is like a home girl, like a down home girl? Or do you feel like she's just misunderstood and has her own ways about things?
Wait, well, both options kind of sound like the same. None of them, yeah.
Really.
I was say none of them really sound like they go against the other.
When I say like a down to earth home girl, it's like you could approach her about anything, you could come to her about anything, y'all could smoke that blunt, have a great time.
Because that's the Rolly that I know.
Okay. Okay, but
And
then
she
we
would smoke her weed.
But then we get the Rolly that did what she did to Slim, and it's just lopsided for me and a lot of people that have watched. So yeah, I guess that's what my question is.
Yeah.
Like, do you see her more as the homegirl down to earth, or what we got to see in this last situation with Slim? Is that like really her?
Okay.
Which one is really her? Is my
So
question.
I was asked about the situation between Rolly and Slim, but because I didn't watch it, the interviewer at the time, shout out to Deron Sway, he just kind of gave me the backstory of what had taken place,
Okay.
and I gave my opinion on it. Again, I had nothing bad to say about Slim because, like I said, I still feel like Slim deserved the opportunity to be on the show because she's an original baddie, you know? So I think that she deserved the opportunity, but I also made mention that I wouldn't have agreed to something that I know didn't sit right in my spirit just to be a part of something, because if I'm not meant to be here, then I'm not gonna be here. You know what I mean? So, I don't really know the whole reason why she and Slim fell off, but for them to be at the point that they're at, it had to be pretty bad because they were literally besties, you know, like they were like a dynamic duo together. Like when you see Slim, you see Rolly, but I don't know that side of Rolly because that's not my experience.
Okay.
I could just speak on my experience, and I personally haven't had a bad experience with Rolly.
How do you feel about the portrayal of women on the show, specifically regarding the conflicts?
You know, I can't make any excuses for them because, and that's not a good or bad thing. You know that you're on a show where millions of people are watching from all over the world, you know, not just here. And what you put out there is what they're going to see. And sometimes the smallest thing that you do, that stays connected to you forever. Or they make that your whole dynamic.
Yeah.
And then you could do something completely positive and they make that your whole dynamic. So when it comes to the portrayal of the woman, it's just whatever they put out, that's going to be your image.
I was going to ask you, do you think that it's fair for the people that watch to blame the network for the portrayal of the women? Or do you think it's basically them showcasing what the women do?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
It's a combination of both. And I like to use this example, right? So you and I are sitting here, right? And you say, can you cut the air on? It's hot. And you go like this, right? And then I come in and I'm like, yes, because, you know, I always serve the looks. And you say, yes, you do. Now the episode airs. And I say, I always serve the looks. And they're going to show when you went like this.
The reaction, yeah, right.
The two don't even go together.
Right.
So it's not even that you did anything wrong.
Right.
It's just that they're allowed to do what they want to make sure that we give good TV. So that's why for me, in a lot of scenes, once I learned that after season one, well, my first season, I was always like cognizant of my body language, my facial expressions, you know, things that you say, because they're going to use what you give. So that's pretty much all that I can say about that.
What do you take away from being a part of Baddies East and Baddies Caribbean?
One, the development of thicker skin, and then just being true to yourself no matter what. Even when people try to like create their own idea of you, especially based off something that you've lived through, they weren't there. They don't know how things are edited. They don't know what happened behind the scene. There's a lot of things that are missing. And then this goes for a lot of the girls. Some of them, I tell you this, when I got to Caribbean, right, I was told that based off my previous season, that there were a lot of girls who were going to be coming for me. I never knew who, had no idea. I went in with the mindset that there were a lot of girls that I was going to have to fight. But when the girls come in and they get to know me, and we ain't even talking about none of that, just me in general, just, hey y'all, woo, woo, woo. I'm the fun one, I'm the funny one, the life of the party, like I'm helping, I'm giving. All of that goes out the window. I wouldn't know which one of them had an issue with me, because by the time they got to know me, that shit just went out the window. So with that, it's just, all I can say is for me, it was just continuing to stay true to myself. Like, this is who I am. If you have an issue, you're going to have an issue. If you had an issue and you get to know me, it goes out the window. So, and then also, you know, with the first season, it was more so like letting the comments get to me. The first season that I did, because again, that was a newer platform for me. So it was just like, whoa, like the stuff people were saying, it's just, it would beat you down because that's not who you are. It just was crazy. But all I can say is just staying true to yourself so that you don't have to be somebody else when the cameras aren't rolling. So the girls all tell you who I am during filming is exactly who I am off camera.
Can you describe any behind the scenes moments that the audience didn't see but was significant for you?
I pretty much think that I touched bases on them as we went through.
Okay.
I don't think that I'm missing anything. Yeah, I don't think that I'm missing anything.
Outside of the shows, how strong are your relationships with the ladies? We know you and Jayla are super cool.
Myself and Jayla, myself and Teshki, of course, myself and Natalie, even Biggie. Like I said, I can call all these girls and they gonna answer the phone. You know,
Okay,
the only ones that I don't talk to on the phone. I don't talk to any of the replacements besides Nunu. You know, because again, and it's not like an everyday thing. But I might invite her out when we're in Miami or connect her for a booking. You know, things like that. When Biggie, myself, Diamond, Teshki, we all had a booking together. It's just all love. The respect is always there. So there aren't any of the girls, that I can't reach out to and they're not going to pick up for me.
Who is your core group of people that whenever you need something to speak to, somebody to hold you down, a shoulder to cry on, who are those people to you?
From Baddies?
And just in general?
God.
Okay. Mm-hmm. No physical people?
No.
Okay.
And it's not that it's not that I don't have them, because I do, but it's just discernment sometimes,
Yeah.
So,
when did that strong faith start with you?
I grew up like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you like church every Sunday type, or are you just within yourself, who he is?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Do you think, let me make sure I read this right. First off, are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. We're almost wrapping up. Are y'all good? Yeah. Okay.
Please.
Are you cold? I see you.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, we're almost wrapping up. Can you describe it? You stay grounded amongst the chaos sometimes. Do you avoid tension between?
Man, submitted a lot of questions.
They did, so I know we have to get to that, but I just want to make sure I ask, because I be hating sometimes when I ask a fan question. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Let me make sure I get through. Negatively impacts the customer. Okay. You got any plans tonight?
No.
How long are you going to be in Atlanta?
Till Wednesday.
Come on, Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a photo shoot tomorrow.
Come on, photo shoot. Lucky photographer. 'Cause baby, I be wanting to. So I do photography too, and I be seeing. I'm like, why does she love? You post a lot of dark photos of you. There's none like where you're illuminated and it's glossy and it looks gorgeous.
Really? Not the ones that I recently.
Not the one. Not.
What about the ones I recently in the denim outfit? That wasn't bright.
You don't think that was dark, friend?
I don't think so. I don't know, but maybe because I don't have like. It's a camera, but it's not like.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
that.
that's when I think I'm like, oh, I would love to do a photo shoot where.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
All right, I am ready to get back. We're good. Can you do me a favor on that screen that you're looking at, the smaller version? Can you make sure you tap one of us to make sure that we're in focus, and it's not in focus on the TV? You'll see a square that pops up, and it'll put
Yeah.
It'll
Both of you guys.
yeah. All right. How would you describe your growth as a person through your experiences on Baddies?
Yeah, pretty much what I just said. It's about, you build a tougher skin. You know how to remain true to yourself despite what people think, and not letting them create an idea of who you are or trying to go out your way to prove yourself. However they feel is how they're going to feel. And you would drive yourself into the ground trying to prove to a group of people who have no idea who you are as a whole that you're not however they think that you are.
Do you think Baddies Caribbean allowed you to show more of you and who you are?
Oh yes, of course.
Okay.
Oh yes, of course. I honestly did not see me, because I went from like, oh, they love me, and then it just went down and east. I honestly didn't see me being where I am now from there. Like the amount of love that's shown, the people that stop me, to tell me how much they gravitate to me and how they love me and they understand me. And, that just feels good because the negative isn't talked about. So that's why I don't really like to keep communicating about that, because it's just a reminder of where I've already strayed away from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even like to remind the people of that, because, and I say this, and feel free to correct me because you watch the show. If you take away that moment, what else could you say? So I'm not about to beat myself up about it. If you take away that moment, people be like, I hate this girl because she did this and she always in people business. She too loud. She always jumping. If you take away that moment, why don't you like Sapphire?
Yeah.
Some people say, oh, she's boring because she don't keep fighting. Oh, I can't stand the pencil. Maybe the every booking I go to that I get paid for, that's all they ask for is that pencil. The pencil is making me money as well. So, but look how dumb those two things are.
Yes, the pencil making you money. I like that. Yes, indeed.
So it's just like when I think about everything that I went through, and I'm like, when I think about 2 seasons of Baddies that I've done, reunions, auditions, all of these bookings, opportunities I now have, it's the one thing that you can say. It's nothing else.
Yeah. Would you call currently now, because we see you come in for the auditions for Africa. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, a random, hey, Sapphire's here. Is that network like second home for you? Yeah.
For sure.
Why didn't we see you on Midwest? We saw you say on social media that you gave your spot to someone.
I did. I was still paid though.
Oh.
He still took care of me. I was still paid holding fee.
Okay.
I got the call because I was ready to go. But I got the call right before the cast photo dropped. And there was somebody in particular that a couple of because they, when they kind of screen the new girls, figure out who you may have an issue with, why you feel the way you feel, etc. No one had an issue with me. But there was a particular person that a couple of them kind of had an issue with. So it was like, And then they asked me, well, Sapphire, we're about to drop the photos and we don't want to catch you off guard. We want to see how you feel first. They gave me the background story. They gave me an offer. I still had all these bookings lined up that I would have to reimburse, and I agreed. Now the thing is, it just kept going on the whole season, so I never got to come on. And still, it's still all love. You know, I know that it didn't come from a negative place. It's not that they didn't want me. It's not that they didn't want Sapphire. I didn't get kicked off. They didn't say we're done with her. She's boring. They still pay me.
Are you going to give us a clue as to who this...
No. Nope.
Is it a newbie or OG? I respect it. I
watched them go through the comments just guessing. Like,
I
think it was this and this. But I don't say yes or no, because that wasn't the agreement when I agreed. So I'm not going to, tell.
I respect it. Mm-hmm. Have you watched Baddies Midwest?
Mm-mm. So anything that I know is just the clips. I try to refrain from watching because because I've been there on the inside and had people on the outside judging, and I know how it works. Now sometimes some things is just like, all right, now you know better. But then sometimes I know certain parts may be missing that would have made it all make sense. So I try not to watch because I don't want to pass judgment on these women that I don't know based off these clips.
Okay.
So when I see them, and I haven't met all of them, but when I see them, it's love, it's support. They're still my baddie sisters. Like, we're still under the same network. And then you might hard down start beefing with one of these girls because of another beef they got going on, and then everybody get the kumbaya in the end, and now you look crazy. So I just try to either just refrain from commenting or separate myself from certain people, or just show love regardless.
There's two. I got to get your opinion on these two things. Mm-hmm. Okay. Emma is a new girl. Mm-hmm. She comes on the scene, and this is my words, not yours. Her claim to fame is that Scotty is boring, so she wants to fight Scotty. Mm-hmm. What does that say to you? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, what would you like if you felt like you were there? If you were there, what would be the thing that you would say to Emma about her reasoning to want to fight Scotty?
If I was sitting in the room and, because I know I'm going to just say whatever comes in my mind. So I probably won't know exactly what I would have said. Right. But in thinking about it, I would have just been like, Emma, girl, why you going to want to, of all people, why you want to fight Scotty? Especially if she born, let her be born. Let's go fight somebody that's lit. I probably would have said something like that. And that's, truly how I feel. But Emma knew, because I had actually met Emma, and that was the first thing Emma told me. This before Midwest even aired. She introduced herself. We hugged. We turned up that night. It was cool. And she just kept saying, I'm the most hated baddie. I'm the most hated baddie because I told Scotty she was born. And I said it to her then. I said, well, why you wanted to fight Scotty because she was born? She's like, because she is. That's just strongly how she felt. So again, that was me. You remember I used that as an example earlier with the Nunu situation. They just strictly gave their opinions. That's how she felt. But I don't think that was a reason to fight. You can't want to fight somebody because they're boring. Now, had she have said, and it still doesn't make it okay, but it just kind of gives it a little razzle dazzle. Had she have said something along the lines of, Scotty, you be boring. Come on, just let's fight. Let's turn this shit up real quick so they can stop saying you don't do shit. Let's just run your fade with me. It would still be like, but then it'd be like, well, shit, Scotty ran her fade, and then we could hug it out after if it was something like that. But a straight like, bitch, I want to fight because you boring. Like, yeah, okay, I didn't agree with that.
I gotta ask you about this one now, because this was like Baddies Midwest all throughout. Okay. Big Lex and Jayla. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm aggravated. Mm-hmm. I'm aggravated for Jayla because I love Jayla. Mm-hmm. And I'm aggravated for Big Lex because I feel like her, in my opinion, her whole arc could have been the Ivory situation. Ivory started a fight with her on the van out of nowhere, seemingly. Mm-hmm. And so that could have been her angle. Mm-hmm. But then once Emma says that Scotty is boring, then we just get to an edit, and now Big Lex says, I want to fight you, Jayla, because you bullied Biggie and you bullied Gretchen. Yes, that may be her thought and or opinion, but same question regarding Emma. What would you think that you would have said to Big Lex wanting to fight Jayla because she bullied Biggie and she bullied Gretch?
This is how I see it, because I'm trying to think what my response would. Is that exactly how she said it?
Yeah, she's like, you bullied Biggie and you bullied Gretch, and I want to fight you.
Okay. First, I would have asked how she bullied Biggie, because I gave my thoughts on that. I don't feel like she had bullied her. But another way that I look at it as well is that we have to understand that these were once spectators. So these are Baddies fans now becoming Baddie. So some of them still feel strongly about however the show was portrayed when they seen it. So if Big Lex feel like she's fighting based off what she's seen and that's how she felt, because as you know, aside from Big Lex, there were a lot of people that felt that way about Jayla. And Big Lex just happened to be one of the ones that made it onto the show.
Okay.
And so she feels like she's defending her thought process. But I definitely would have had to ask, in what way did she, bully Biggie? Because that wasn't a thing. With the Gretchen thing, I cleared that up. That it also wasn't a bully, but people felt like it was dragged out. But again, I gave points as to why Jayla felt the need to keep going. And the same way Big Lex and Ivory kept going, or Big Lex and Jayla kept going, that was Jayla and Gretchen. So it like I said, when you on the outside looking in, none of it makes sense to you. But then you come on there and you realize that, wait, well, if you're real with yourself, you realize that you're kind of doing the same thing that you didn't like. You wouldn't consider that bullying, and you wouldn't want anybody else to consider it bullying. You feel like you fighting for however you feel or whatever you believe. So I would just take the word bullying out of the equation. But I definitely would want to know why she would have thought that Biggie was being bullied.
A lot of people like Big Lex. A lot of people don't like Big Lex for their reasons or whatever.
She's a sweet girl too.
Have you met her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had a booking with Lex one time in Atlanta at LGBTQIA plus party, and it was fun because I don't know that other side of Lex because I haven't been there.
Okay.
Like I don't like the turned up fight. I don't know that. I know the girl with the soft voice, with the baby hairs and pigtails, that dance and take pictures with everybody. Like that's the person that I know. So I don't know if she just knows what to do when the cameras is on because it's entertainment, or if she just really feels strongly about that. So that's why I can't pass judgment, because I don't know if you're like Diamond, because Diamond understands the whole dynamic. She gonna cut it on and she be like, all right then, I'm out, y'all. I got a booking.
Yeah, that's basically
You get what I'm saying? So
in this last reunion. That's basically
that's Diamond. All right then, fight your ass, fall out on the floor, spit, cuss you ugly, and then after, all right, give me a hug and go in her room.
Yeah.
Until the camera come. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if Lex is just one of those ones who understands or who's caught on to what works and she's doing it, or if she strongly feels that way, or if it's a combination of both. But I can only judge her by the person that I met. And that's why I try to refrain from watching the show, so that I don't pass judgment on these girls. And when I see you, whatever energy I give you is genuine. Because even Summer, my first time meeting Summer was when I walked into, when I went to the Baddies auditions, when they had me on as a surprise judge, and I walked into the room that she was in, and she immediately stood up, Sapphire, and it was all love. We had never met. And she showed me love. So what if I had watched the show and I was like, oh, I don't like this. And then I seen her, and hell, she showing me love. She don't feel no type of way about me and how I was portrayed. So it's like, I'd rather just meet you and see the energy that you give off genuinely than to judge you by however you act on the show, because I don't know if it's real or fake.
And that's fair. Has there ever been a moment where any of the girls maybe Natalie to Diamond or Jayla to Lex or anybody to whoever they had beef with on the show was like, oh, don't hang out with her. I don't like her, whatever. Did any lady ever felt like they wanted you not to hang out with such and such because of their beef on the show?
Baddies East, that's it.
Okay. Looking back, do you wish there were more genuine friendships rather than the constant drama? And that's just in general. Or do you feel like there are genuine friendships?
There are definitely many of, well, I would say, yeah, there's a handful of genuine friendships. But then that goes back to the point that I make, where these beefs will go on, and then next thing you know, these people make up and they're the closest friends. Diamond and Tinker were a hard rivalry, and then they became a duo. I seen clips, I don't know how it came about, but I see like little clips on the internet where Ivory and Big Lex are now cool, and they were brawling, you know? So that's why I say you just gotta, some situations you just gotta not voice your opinion, kind of mind your business, because these people, they turn back around and become cool. And you don't went on the internet doing all this, and now they ain't kumbaya, and the beef's still on with you.
Right.
Mind your business.
I wish you were on Baddies Midwest. I think a lot of what we saw would have went a different way. I love your energy when you're on the seasons. Why didn't you go to Africa?
Hello, that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's why. That was part of the agreement. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but it's still all love.
Okay.
I did get to do like some like call-in scenes, you know.
Okay.
Or, you know, they call me and I get to say some stuff, and, you know, like Nat texts me, he's like, can I FaceTime you to say hi to the people in South Africa? Because they wanted me there too. And I'm like, yes, of course. So, you know, I still kind of, my name will be brought up in it, but I do wish that I was there physically to have that experience.
Do you think that Natalie Nunn is misunderstood in a way to where, because Baddies Africa, we see Diamond wanting to fight Natalie, we see Scotty having her issues with Natalie, we see Anna Mac having her issues with Natalie. Is Natalie that bad of a person for all of these women to want to have issues with her?
Hell no. What I can say when it comes to what I will say with the Diamond and Natalie situation, they're just two people who both understand the industry. Okay. That's the best way that I can put it. Okay. Although now some of the things that they may say at some point, they might strongly feel about it. I know like Natalie has her moments where there were some situations that occurred with Diamond and she really feels strongly about it. And same with Diamond. There were some moments where she feels strongly about it. But both women are women that have a heart that things can be talked about, which is why you also see clips now of them kumbaya. So you got to mind your business. But the Scotty, Natalie, Anna situation, I think that was more personal. So I can't really speak on that too much. But Natalie's a boss, like straight like that.
Yeah, I mean,
she's a boss.
I tip my hat off to her
sure.
For what she's accomplished and what she continues to do, and the fact that she understands.
Yeah, she understands it.
Yeah,
because they're like, oh, Nat's so messy and don't put her on it. But if some of these girls not gonna stir the drama, it's her show, respectfully, and if you know, like, the more controversy, the more drama, the more everybody gets paid, you gonna stir the pot. And it's not even like Natalie stirs it in a way where she's saying anything y'all not thinking. Y'all just upset with her because she's the one doing it. But if your faves do it, it's not an issue. But when Natalie do it, it's messy. Y'all want the mess. Because if she didn't call it out, there'll be no beefs. Y'all would be mad.
I tell people all the time, you know, that network is a multi-million, probably $billion network. I'm not sure. I don't run the numbers. Where a lot of those, a lot of the interest is built off of the mess.
Exactly.
So it's interesting when people try to say, "Oh, she shouldn't do this," and "Oh, you shouldn't do that," and
y'all
"Oh,
would
you
be
should have
so upset if there was no drama.
Yeah,
they would be upset. But what I can say that I respect about not just Natalie, I have to say Rolly as well. And yeah, I'm gonna separate Diamond from this one. I'm gonna give her own credit. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. I gotta open my gate. Okay. So yeah, so with one thing I can say about Natalie and Rolly, and then I'll give Diamond her separate credit. Natalie and Rolly are okay with being the villain. They've been in TV for so long. Rolly was there before there was a Baddies. Like she was there when Zeus kicked off. So she understands the whole dynamic as well. I can't sit there and say that. I don't feel like, me personally, like Rolly is different on camera, or like she turns up more because the camera's on. She turns up when she's triggered. Natalie gonna make sure if you say something to her, if you say, oh yeah, as soon as I see that bitch so-and-so, I'm gonna hit her. Natalie gonna be like, yeah.
When you
And then
said,
when you get on there, Natalie gonna be like, hey, remember when you hit her? No, you said that. She gonna make sure you stand on it. You know what I mean? And even if you're upset, like, oh, Natalie was messy for doing that or whatever, she's okay with being the villain because it's still gonna give the people what they want. Diamond has never really been. Let me think. No, because I'm gonna say Diamond has never really been the villain. I can't call her the villain, but Diamond is good. Can you think? She's never been a villain, but she has that. She's just entertaining. She don't give a damn. Yeah,
she's that one woman out of all the baddies that can't do no wrong.
Oh yeah, they love her. Yeah, they love her. At first they were kind of like, but then it's like when you realize like that's just who she is, then they respect it because she's entertaining. You know, she has a business mindset. But like I said, off camera, I mean, even on camera when she's not in the beef, she's such a sweet girl. Yeah. You know, so she just understands it. But she's never been the villain, but she's going to be entertaining. Right. That's what she's going to do. And yeah, those are, I tip my hat to them.
Yeah. So we're going to turn ourselves to the screen and we're going to look at some of these questions now. We can bypass the ones you don't want to answer, which is fine. But social media questions, the whole truth. Let's see what we have here. Asia, the Muslim. Okay, yes. If she has to do Baddies again, who does she see herself not getting along with if all the Baddies Africa cast was to return?
I can't comment on that because I don't know all the girls from Baddies Africa.
There's a lot of new girls.
Yeah, I don't know all of them.
And all the returning you're cool with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint who I would not get along with.
Another question from her. What's her opinion on Anna always talking and inserting herself in drama, but then hiding behind Teshki or injured reserve status?
Anna runs her fades. Yeah, so I can't. She gonna throw a couple punches and she might get up out the way. Right. But I mean, shit, my girl 98 pounds soaking wet. So she not wrong. And you can't say like she hides behind Teshki because if there's a fight that she has to fight, she fights it out. So what if Teshki is there just to make sure she's not jumped? You know, but Teshki hasn't like actually went in and said, no, well, you're not gonna fight. I'm gonna do it for you. Anna runs all her fade. So
Nosebleed period 2 says, why didn't she beat Callie up at the reunion? We answered that already. Who are your top 5 favorite baddies? Top five least favorite. I think we went through that too with the top 3. So we'll leave it there. I am Terry Suggs Jr. How's the lingerie business going?
It's going well. I have a business called BlazeX. I'm a website, Shop BlazeX on Shopify. So what my line is, it's not literally just lingerie, but it allows you to wear pieces that are similar to lingerie, but in public. So it's not that it's really showing anything, but it's giving like the idea of sex appeal, and it's for women of all sizes. But if you remove the tights, then you can wear it as simply as lingerie.
Yes. Okay.
So it's being sexy.
Come through with that. Yes. How long have you been doing that?
I initially did the first launch in 2022. Okay. And then I did a soft launch in February of this year.
Are we going to see you Miami Swim Week?
No, because it's not like, it's no swimwear.
Okay. Okay.
But you'll see Jayla.
Well,
you will see me walking. Yeah.
That's what I meant. 16 carriages. Who was it that she really gave? We talked about that already. Yes, you getting all the girls. I love that. Jo interview was great. Very juicy. She a baddie.
Shout out to J.O.
Let's see. Mariahlynn says, from watching Love and Hip Hop plus Baddies, the friendship, we don't have to go there.
You can read it.
Okay. The friendship with Suki seemed already rocky. So was the friendship even that close? Looks like Suki always forces you to do what she wants. She was like the ringleader of the friendship. Is that why you were more likable when she was gone? Because you were free.
Did you want some strawberries?
We're going to move right on, baby. Yes, indeed. Where did she get that big ass pencil? We talked about that. I love getting to the questions that I've already asked. Has being on Baddies changed your life? And if so, how? That is from toe_mass41.
Well, of course. Well, financially, of course.
Yeah.
It has.
Yes.
But then again, it's also open opportunity for like ambassadorships, endorsements, you know, speaking at juveniles, you know, just allowing people to see me for who I am. I get to reach a larger audience than I would have if I was just trying to do it on my own.
Right.
So, much love to Zeus.
Awesome.
Baddies.
Out of all the baddies currently in past, who do you need that from? Who do you need that from? I don't think you need that from anybody.
No, I don't.
I don't think you need that from anybody. HTTP Chopper, why didn't she help her? Oh, yeah, we talked about end of the week. I don't know what that means. All right. But my question is, why did she try to fight Bianca and Puerto Rico when DTB hit from the back on the ATM? They're talking about
the
when
ATV.
Biggie and DTB was going at it with Bianca.
Yeah, but that's the question that I answered.
we
We both knew we were supposed to fight, then she didn't want to. I left it alone because if I wanted to fight her, I could have just hit her.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not going to hit you.
Yes, I love it. I'm not expecting real tea because she's still cool with Zeus. And let me ask y'all, what is this with y'all wanting to figure out the dirty laundry or whatever it is with this network? Do you understand? I don't understand.
And then here's the thing. Once one person make up one story, then they all just run with it. And then they try to hold it to you like it's true. Me being cool with the network don't mean that you with somebody.
Yeah.
Like all the female production love me too. Miss Diane, Mama Mo, Chachi, Ashley Washington. Like the list goes on. Like they love me. Like there's no getting around it. You don't have to connect me to anybody. When they sit in those rooms and they ask what baddies you want, they want Sapphire.
I know that's real. There was rumors going around that you had a little love interest.
Right. They connected me to a security guard. Now imagine me. But see, some of
them a lot of them security guards are not attractive.
But and look, and more importantly, they don't even play that.
Okay.
Because you got to understand. Now imagine you making all this money. Your only job is to pretty much break up fights.
Right.
Make sure we get in the car or, watch us when we at the club. You gonna give up all that money because you done had sex with one of the girls?
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
But
there are a lot of rumors about these dudes now.
Now, and guess what? If any of them were affiliated in any of that, you don't see them no more.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. I like that.
And if I was affiliated in all of them, then I wouldn't have came back for my second season. They was connecting me to that in my first season.
Right.
They didn't say that second season though.
Frey.bomb. I really want to know who she gave her spot. Oh, we talked about that. One of my faves, I'm so excited. You're interviewing her. I'm glad that she came through. How do you feel about the interview so far? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Advice for future baddies / bad boys from LEX Brooks.
Okay, LEX. So pretty much what I stated, you just have to be true to yourself. You have to understand if you are going to be the same on and off camera, or are you going to turn up your entertainment when that camera come on? But just know that however you portray yourself will forever follow you. And in the fan base, I'm telling you, it go up and down. They might like you one week, the next week they can't stand you. And then it's, oh, she grew on me. You just never know. So you just have to stay, whatever character you give, if it's not 100% yourself, you have to stick to that. Oh, because they going to clock everything.
Mm-hmm. Long live How do she feel about Bianca spitting on her, and where do we talked about that. Shout out to Devin in the background, shouting out Sapphire.
Hey, Devin.
AJ VBN. Ciao. My name is AJ. That's better. I want to know, have you ever had a personal encounter with Jesus, feeling his presence? Did you grow up in church?
Yep, which I've already answered. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it. If you could change anything you did on Baddies, what would it be? We talked about that as well. Did you really use Suki as a way to get on We talked about that.
I got on there.
Baby, y'all asking everything I done asked, baby. No shade. People always try to get on D as Slim Too Bad for fighting the Grinch, but Sapphire jumped in and was kicking. Did you?
No, I didn't. No, they see me standing aside from her when everybody was on top of her. I'm there trying to get them over. They ain't never see me kick.
I don't
Don't do that to me.
Legendary Tokyo Uzi Vert 711. Do you think Mariah was being fake when she sent those text messages about you to Bianca?
Yes, but Mariah already know that's how I felt.
Yes.
But Mariah and I, we don't have any issues. You know, she cool.
You said you went 3 rounds with ET, but we only saw 2. Did they edit out the 3rd round at the reunion? Fight, mash, master.
No, we didn't do 3 rounds. We did 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2 rounds. It was multiple rounds with Bianca that y'all didn't see.
Uh-huh. Who was the girl you made? Child, take the spot. They want to know who took. They want to know whose spot is. They want to know. This question may come off disrespectful. Jordan Valentine 87, but that's not its intentions. On Baddies East, the general public view you. We talked about this already.
Let me see what it say.
On Baddies East, the general public view was that you were doing the work of Suki, but when you came back without Suki the next season, the whole demeanor was different. Did you feel like you had to give yourself a second chance to prove yourself and not be behind Suki's shadow?
That's how they felt.
Hey.
I didn't say it, but what I will say, like I said, coming back the second time wasn't because I thought that I was alone. Because in the first, a lot of people I think forget that we were together in that first episode. So no, I didn't come back to prove that I could do it on my own. They wanted me back. I wanted to be there. So.
Facts. Caliente said, when she farted, did she really blame it on the birds?
Do you remember that scene?
I don't.
Okay,
Where were y'all?
We were zip lining and
Yes.
I said we zip lining, and I said, well, I farted a little bit, but didn't nobody smell that but the birds.
Was it silent or a noise?
I didn't fart. I'm just with it.
The Zeus look says, if she had a choice and could only pick one, would she choose to go on Baddies or choose her friendship?
With who?
That we don't know. We have no idea.
I see what y'all trying to do there.
Yeah. But yeah,
the two had nothing to do with each other.
I am Jody Nelson. Why did you go on Baddies? We talked about that. Also ask her, why was she so quick to pop on little old Mariah, but not E.T. Local.business.page.
It wasn't so quick. Well, talking about that situation, I would have to go more into detail about that. However, at the end of the day, I ran my phase. Did everybody run theirs?
All right. What was your experience on Baddies? We talked about that. What was your hardest fade on Baddies? Did you have a hard fade? Was there someone you couldn't crack?
Yeah, my hardest fade would have been E.T. in the first round. But E.T. give me credit for the second one. They ain't show it like they should have. But my girl gave my credit. But that first round when I looked away, she definitely got me. She got that eye.
Okay.
But one thing about me, it's win, lose, or draw. Like I said Pisces be delusional, but I ain't that level of delusional. Like the shit like that it doesn't embarrass me as long as I did it.
Right.
Did everybody run their fade?
Ooh. Celebrity CJ says, why wasn't she brought back for Africa? We talked about that. All right, now this is where we get a little juicy.
You can only pick one.
Yes, you can only pick one. I'm glad you read that, baby, because some people be saying neither, or both. And I want...
So you have to pick.
Yes, ma'am. You got to be bold and blunt and stand on it, baby. Yes, you ready? Mm-hmm. All right, now. Callie or Jelly?
Callie.
All right. Nunu or Dia?
Nunu.
Okay. So far, so good. Gretch or Teshki?
Teshki.
All right. J.O. or Pretty P?
I gotta go J.O. I don't know Pretty P. She's beautiful though.
Oh, yes, she is. She is definitely pretty. Rihanna or Beyonce?
Rihanna.
Oh, you said that kind of fast, friend.
Yeah, island gal.
Is she someone that you regularly listen to?
In the past,
Yeah.
but I've never been to, well, Rihanna hasn't done music in a while, but I haven't had the opportunity like going to any of the Beyonce tours and things like that.
Okay.
But she's an amazing artist, beautiful
Okay.
woman.
Awesome. Michael B. Jordan or Aaron Pierre, baby?
Aaron Pierre. That's
Oh,
my style.
yeah. What is it about Aaron Pierre?
Look at him. The explanation.
Baby, them eyes, baby. Them eyes, them lips.
Right. He looking at Devin. He looking at me.
All right.
I thought this was Jayla.
Doechii or
really thought
who did
it
you
was
think was Jayla?
Doja Cat. I thought it was Jayla right there. It happened so fast because I was like, well, who is that?
Right. Doja Cat or Doechii?
I have to go Doja. I know more of her music. Doja is also an amazing artist.
Awesome.
The style is completely just different. She's in her own world.
Awesome. Can you make sure she focused? She's scooting up in the chair. Just make sure she good. All right. Baddies eat
Caribbean.
Caribbean. I knew you was going to say that. All right. Name your ultimate Baddies cast. If Natalie called you right now, it was like, Sapphire, first of all, I want you on the cast. And I need, let's say, 7 girls as returning or whatever the ultimate cast is, and then y'all do the auditions and get the new girls in.
But Natalie don't count, right?
But Natalie does not count. And neither does you.
Oh, I don't count either. So 7
outside of you, and you're going to be on the cast. Who would that 7 be?
Jayla.
Okay.
Teshki.
Okay.
Rolly.
Okay.
Ivory.
Okay.
Big Lex.
Okay.
Diamond.
Okay. One more.
I gotta go Anna.
All right. I like that. I'm not a fan of Big Legs, I'm not gonna lie. But everybody else you said, I rock with Hard Body. I rock with Hard Body. But yeah, I'm not.
And have Dolly on there as a replacement.
Yeah, out of the new 3, the big 3, whatever they call them.
I like that group too.
It would go Summer, Dolly, Lex.
That's your order?
That's my order.
Summer's great for TV too. I
Yeah,
just don't know her personally.
Yeah.
That's all.
I hope that when because the new season starts in freaking 2 weeks. They pumping them out like they pumping out them babies, baby. I hope
Gone Wild as well.
Yes. Oh, they're doing it simultaneously. But I know that one's done.
Yeah, May 11th that airs.
Wow. I want to like Big Lex. And this is not a Sapphire thing. This is a Wesley thing, okay? I want to like Big Lex. And so I'm hoping that I get to like her watching her in Africa. Because it seems like, based on the trailer, every clip, her wig is off and she fighting another broad.
Rumor was that she won every single one of her fights in Africa.
Ooh.
I heard she's tearing through Africa.
Ooh.
That's what I heard.
I wonder if the new girls are saying, I don't like how you did Jayla, so I want to come for you. I think that'll be karma. But hey, if she went to her fades, she went to her fades. I just hope that what she stands on is something.
It wouldn't be karma if you ain't win.
Hey.
But it'd be respected.
Yeah.
It would definitely be respected.
What do you want the world to know about Sapphire? What's coming up that we need to support? What's coming out that we need to support? What's already ongoing that we need to support?
Yes.
Any last closing arguments? Speak to this camera.
All right, so please go to Sapphire Blaze on Instagram and click the link in my bio and shop Blaze X. And then my next project I am looking to do, well, I'm going to save that one. I'm going to tell you that one. It's something about dancing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all heard that. And then I want to do some acting.
I want to see that.
Yeah, like that is something that I really want to do. I know that Zeus now we have like our Zeus films
Scripted
and stuff,
stuff, yeah.
which will actually be scripted because
Yeah.
they swear Baddies is scripted. It's not.
Okay.
At all. No one's agreeing to get a black eye. Like, yeah, let's do that. No.
Right.
But and even if it's not with my Zeus family, the love will always still be there. My door's still always open, just as I know theirs is for me. But the opportunities that I want now are to act and just showcase, they know me to be funny and witty, and I wouldn't mind doing a comedy, but I also want to do like a serious drama. Okay. Yeah, I want to give that like a thriller or something, like just to show other sides of me.
What's your favorite movie?
Right now, my favorite movie is Sinners.
Ooh, click the glass to that, baby. Click the glass to that. Yes, indeed.
Right now.
I tell everybody, listen, if
10 out of 10.
If you are black, maybe you should have went first weekend. If you didn't go first weekend, go second weekend. If you didn't go second weekend, go third weekend. It's one of those
movies you can go and pay to see it again.
Period.
I think prices on movies at the movie theaters dropped too, because they're not even that expensive anymore.
I went to see it twice.
Yeah.
We segueing from Baddies. We done with Baddies.
Uh-huh.
Who was your favorite character? Who is your favorite character in Sinners?
And Sammy.
Okay. I like
Sammy.
him.
And the baby mama, I can't remember her name. It wasn't Pearline. Beatrice? Well, no, Beatrice.
The dark skin.
Yeah.
I always forget her.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
She's amazing.
Between those two. Sammy, because if you actually watch the movie and you know, it's really centered around him. Did you really understood the message of the movie?
There's a lot of, so the whole movie is an allegory.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that. Some people are like, oh, I didn't understand why they did this, and I didn't understand why they did this. There's so many messages throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
That for me as a black person, I'm proud. And so like, thank you, Ryan Coogler, about.
And Jordan Peele.
And it's just, you just have to love the craft of it. And then outside of that, it's a dope ass film.
Yeah, it's super good.
It doesn't follow into any, negative black stereotypical cliches. And it's an original script. It's just
Jordan Peele, like, his penmanship is crazy. I would love to do a movie with him. From Get Out to what was it, Them or Us, whichever one. And then you have Sinners, Candyman 2. Like, the messages behind his movie makes it deeper than what it is. And if you don't understand that dynamic, then you won't understand him. Yeah, you won't understand him. But Sinners it's deeper than vampire horror movies. They consider it a horror movie because there's no other genre that you can really put it in. So you have to make it a vampire movie in order to put it into the genre of horror. But it's pretty much just kind of showcasing the way music can control us and how music can actually turn us into sinners, and you don't understand because you hear the beat and you feeling it and you going with the flow, and next thing you know,
one of the most magical, well-directed, well-scripted, beautiful scenes ever to depict Black history in all of music.
Was it the one when they was inside club?
Yes.
And then it was showing all the different genres.
Yes.
From the dancing to the blues and twisting turns and hip hop to twerking. Yeah.
All of that. And they were like, the best. I don't understand how you're gonna have a girl twerking in the middle of
the beat sounds so good, but that's how they get you.
Yeah.
Because even with all that going on, like the beat gets you, and then really the end when Sammy's at the bar and they come back to visit him in their dress in the next genre of music, which was, hip hop.
Yes.
Still leading us.
Yes.
Well, leading them. Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan and the whole cast. They are breaking records right now and setting new records. What's your favorite color?
Blue. Sapphire.
My favorite color. Yes.
Sapphire.
I don't know if I asked you, where did the name Sapphire come from?
So in 2015, my friend and I, we decided, her name's Tiana, shout out to Tiana. We decided that we were going to try a hair color.
Okay.
No one was doing it. There was one girl, she would do black, but with like streaks. But no one, when we were in DC, was just like wearing bold colors in their hair. And this was before wigs. This was like you was dyeing your bundles and your real hair. She chose purple. I chose blue. So when we went to the store and we had bought our colors, the color that I bought was from Adore, and it was a sapphire blue color. And I dyed my hair blue and she dyed her hair purple. She calls herself Purple Goddess. And from then, every single hairstyle that I did, it was blue for 5 years straight. If you go down towards the bottom of my Instagram, you'll see like just nothing but blue hair. I wouldn't wear any other color. And so when we looked in the mirror and we seen ourselves, I was like, yes. My nickname at the time was Lady Ken, because my real name is Kendra.
Okay.
And when I looked in the mirror, I was like, don't call me Lady Ken no more. Call me Sapphire.
I know that's right.
It was just because of blue hair.
Yeah.
she nicknamed herself Purple Goddess. Now the Blaze came about because it ended in fire, which is spelled totally different. So I just added Blaze, and then you'll see the transition on my Instagram where I started wearing like a fiery orange type hair. And I had it in my mind that when my hair was blue, I would be Sapphire. When it's orange, I'd be Blaze. But that never happened like that. But that's just the story. It all started with hair color.
Sapphire fits. I like that. I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, but so I'm a filmmaker, and so I live in that film world. You exude, and I don't know either of you personally, but just, being a new admirer and appreciator of you and her, Teyana Taylor.
Oh, nice.
I
love Teyana.
I get that vibe that like, it's like a regalness, it's like a soulfulness, it's like a calm, good energy vibe. Like every time you see Teyana, you're just like, that's her.
She that
and every
girl.
time I see you, I'm like, that's her. Even on Baddies, in the midst of the storm, you're the calm.
Yeah.
Alongside Jayla, I love you, baby. I love you.
My girl gonna speech it out.
Yes. But I don't know. It's just, I'm happy for you to be here.
I appreciate you for having me.
I'm glad that you were able to come. I feel like I learned a lot about you, and I feel like the audiences has learned a lot about you as well. And when you say that women don't have a problem, I don't see why there would be a problem to have with you. Even with the show and how it's been completed and how it's been edited, there's nothing to say about Sapphire like, oh, that's why this bitch, all this about that.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say.
They just say that same one thing.
Yeah.
And that's it. But that's why I said, if it wasn't for that, what else could you say?
Exactly.
Nothing. So
this has been The Whole Truth with Wes, and I've gotten the pleasure of sitting in front of Miss Sapphire. Thank you so much again for coming through. And y'all stay tuned, baby.
Bye.
All right, was it? Is it?
Ate that up.
It didn't seem that long. It didn't seem that long.
So I'll tell you the story though.
Okay. Oh, let's next second. Yeah. And you can hit the audio button for me. Where do you need me to get your car to go to?
Nothing to discuss, no. I get the remedy for this stress, yeah. Double cups and shy,